Good morning and welcome to our physio and Pilates and yoga blended class. Today is a class where we can kind of check in with how our body's feeling and try a few practices to help loosen us up. And I really encourage you to use this as your own personal warm-up before some of the other classes as well. So sometimes you can feel a bit stiff getting straight into yoga, and this is hopefully a nice way for you to loosen up. So make your way to your mat. You just need your mat. I'm not planning on using any props today, but if you've got some, feel free to pop them nearby and use them as they feel comfortable. And let's get started. Roll my way here. All right, so we're going to start lying on our back. Actually, before we do, come to a comfortable seated position and hold on to your elbows and see how far you can twist one way. And then the other way. Just see how that feels today. Now let's twist back to the first side and take a nice deep breath. And just feeling how that breath is for you. Try turning the other way and taking a deep breath. And you might feel that one side is easier than the other. So just lock that away in your memory and we'll come back to that. So lie down now on your back. Head relaxed. If you need some support for your head, grab some. We're going to practice some chin tucks, lengthening the back of the neck. So the back of the neck goes long, chin comes in. And then release. And again, chin in, back of the neck long, and release. Let's do it one more time. Lengthen the back of the neck. And release. Now reach your hands toward the sky. Try reaching your fingertips up. And then melting your shoulders back to the earth. Now, I don't want you to grip them behind you. Feel them settle into the earth. So reach your arms, and as you reach your arms, you'll feel your spine a bit more in contact with the floor. And then melt your shoulders back down. Try and get some space between shoulder blades and rib cage. Let's try that 2 more times. Inhale to reach. Exhale. Lower. And then last one. And then melt back down. Great. Now we'll take our arms overhead. So inhale, reach your arms overhead as far as is comfortable. So if your shoulder gets a bit jammed here, then don't push through it. Otherwise, try and go a little bit further. Like if you can go further, do so. All right. So as you take your arms overhead, I want you to feel your spine on the floor. Allow your shoulder blades to stay melted into the floor as you reach overhead. So just that little bit of relaxation. Feel your spine broaden across that mid-back area to get your arms overhead. So you're going to inhale, long spine, back of your neck still long. Arms overhead. Okay, now we're out to the side. So melt the shoulders into the floor. Take your hands wide now. What I want you to feel is that it's not so much coming from your shoulder, it's your whole shoulder blade. So I want you to move your shoulder blades. In Pilates, what we call is hug a tree. So if I came this way, imagine you're hugging a tree, and then you're taking your arms wide, and then back to the center. So it's less happening at your shoulder joint, and it's more your whole shoulder blade sliding together and then sliding apart. But really check in with your shoulder blades. Shoulder blades together, shoulder blades apart. And then we'll rest the arms down. Now we're coming to the spine. Inhale, roll the hips forward and back. Just loosening up through the hips. We don't want the ribs to move here. It's all through the hips. And then exhale back down. Good. And then stop halfway. Practice engaging your core muscles. Now, if you put your hands behind your back, engaging your core muscles. Think of this. Imagine a zipper from your tailbone up to your pubic bone at the front and that zipper continues up toward your belly button. Imagine activating those muscles that create a zipper up that whole line, and then relax. It'll feel a bit like your belly tenses. It'll feel like you're stopping yourself doing a wee. You're going to try that again. So engage that zipper and then relax. Now put my hands behind my back because you don't want to feel anything else move. It's just engaging those core muscles and then relax. Next step, exhale. Engage those core muscles, zip up, and now take a breath. Slow, normal breath. And relax. So now you want to be able to engage your core muscles and breathe normally. If you can't breathe, do less with your core muscles that allows you to breathe. So exhale, engage core, breathe, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, and relax the core. Let's do that again. It can sometimes help to exhale first, engage the zipper, then inhale, keeping the core muscles on, exhaling, and then releasing. Good. Continue with that. If you want to train your brain to get good at activating your core muscles, stay there. If you want to take it a bit further, if you've done a few more classes, then engage your core muscles, walk one leg up into tabletop, and then the other. Now you get to see my nice leg warmers. Engage your core and then lower down and down. So the whole time we want your spine to stay the same shape. So engage core, inhale, engage stronger to get the second leg up, no arching, no tucking, lower and lower. Okay, let's try. So continue there or take it a step further. To take a step further, engage core, lift one leg and then the other. And you might choose to touch your toe down and back up. Now engage your core, be really mindful that you're not arching your spine. So you can use your hands under your spine to check that you're not arching and you're not tucking under. Your shoulders don't like that. The other option is put your hands in your belly. You don't want your belly pushing and you don't want to be arching. So you'll feel this kind of connection down the front of your body, and I can already feel that's working quite a lot. So let's try engage core, lower one leg down, and you'll need more core to keep your leg there and then bring it back up. You might be able to relax a little bit, and then the second side there, and then back up. Good. Then lower one leg down and the other, and you can do a little bit of rock side to side. Now we're going to do a second set there. If you'd like to, you just do the exact same thing. If you want to make it more complex, we can add the arms in. So here we go. Engage core, lift one leg up. We'll take a breath to inhale, make sure your shoulders are relaxed, and engage the second side. And if, like I said, if you'd like to continue with one leg at a time, do that. Otherwise, reach your arms up and remember to melt your shoulders into the floor. Chin in a little bit. So there's no tension. We're active, but it's not tense through your upper body. Inhale. So actually, just keep the breath going consistently. Let's focus more on the spine shape than exactly when the breath has to be. Now you've done a few. Have you noticed if you're pushing your fingers too much to the sky or gripping them into the floor? Try again, find that halfway position. Don't overdo it with your upper body. It's your lower body. If you are, activate your core a little bit more. Now, the last couple, if you want to make it that little bit more, right hand, left foot, identify them and move them apart and back to the center. Again, opposites and back to the start. So this is going to make you want to arch your spine more. So if this is not hard, you're probably arching your spine. Neutral spine, shoulders relaxed, neck relaxed, and you're just moving your hip and your shoulder. Again, inhale and exhale. Let's do two more. And if you're getting mixed up with the arms and legs, just do one. One more other side. Okay, Okay, and then lower the legs down, lower the hands down, and do a little bit of a rock. So like I warned you, there'll be a little bit of repetition. So we'll do this the third and final time. So again, you can either you can either just practice activating core, walking your legs to tabletop and back down. You can repeat what we did last time, or this time through to make it a bit harder, you can extend your leg to 45. So the lower the leg goes down, the harder it's going to be. You've made a longer lever that way. So I'll talk you through it. Choose an easier variation or start here. All right, engage. So neutral pelvis. Zip up the core muscles and then breathe one leg up. More core to bring the second leg up. And then if you're adding your arms in, do so. If you're not, lie down by your side. And now you're going to take your right hand and your left foot and you're going to move them away from each other, either heel touches or toe touches, or you're going to go opposite and reach to 45. And that's the start. So extend. In fact, what you really need to make sure you do is engage core and then move the opposite arm and leg out. Engage core and then take your arms back. Now, when you come back to the start, this is where you'll notice you're gripping. Give this as an opportunity to relax your shoulders down, long spine, chin in. So everything's active, but not tense. And then reach and back. Now, if you want to keep going and do so, you can make it a bit harder by lowering the leg a little bit more. Let's go again. Ready? And then we'll do two more, which is a full pair. So one side, back, second side. Now keep those shoulders relaxed into the floor. And one. Great. Then lower one leg down and the other. This time we'll put the hands behind our head. Do a couple rocks side to side. Loosen up the spine. And then also give one knee a squeeze into your chest and then the other. And you can kind of peel your bottom up a little bit if that's okay. Lift your head up and turn yourself into a little ball here. Loosen things up. And then we'll roll to the side and come up. Let's just check in with our body again. So come to a comfortable seated position. Hold on to your elbows again. And try twisting the other way. And then we'll twist and breathe, twist and breathe. Twist and breathe. Now, for some of you, it won't feel different, but if it does, that exercise was to activate your core and relax your neck and shoulders. So if that's helped for you, then I invite you to try that throughout the day. Make that in itself could be a morning practice. Okay, now we're going to try something else. We're going to loosen up more through the extensor muscles. So as a test, tuck your chin in and lean as far forward as you can. Just to see how easy or how hard it is. And come back up. All right, now let's try and loosen that up. So release the feet forward. If it's more comfortable to have your legs straight, you can. Otherwise, keep them bent. You sit up nice and tall on your sitting bones. Okay, chin in, bend the shoulders round, and then reach your hands forward as far as you feel comfortable going. Take a breath now and try and breathe into the back of your rib cage. Exhale. You could apply your zipper and curl back up with the head coming up last. Good, let's go again. Chin, shoulders, rounding down through the spine. Breathe. Exhale, engage your zipper. And then curling back up. And the trick is to keep your shoulders relaxed as you come up. So you're not coming up with your shoulders up high, relax down. Let's go again. One more this way. Chin, shoulders, spine. And without forcing it, use the breath. You can't force the breath, so can you find some space to inhale? Exhale, engage the core and curl back up. If that feels good, keep going. If you want to push it to your core muscles a bit more, you can do this. Chin in, shoulders round. So you're either staying and breathing or keep this curve, I call it a C curve of your spine, like a curly curve, and then reach back. Try and keep this rounded position. Try not to extend as you come back because it means you're using your back muscles. Let's keep them relaxed and the core on. And then dive forward again, and then one vertebra at a time to come back up. Let's go again. Chin, shoulders reaching forward, stay and breathe, or core on, C curve, keep the ribs down, look down the center line of your body, keep the ribs in, and then dive back forward, stretch out your back, and then back up. Let's do 3 more. Exhale. Core on, inhale back, not going to hold it further. Exhale forward, and back up. Exhale down. Inhale, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale forward, reaching again, and back up. Last one. Chin, shoulders, reach the arms forward. Let this really go at the back of your shoulders. Reaching back, keeping the arms reaching forward, back forward, and back up. All right, let's see how that's gone for us. Crossing the elbows just standardizes what we're doing with the upper body. Take your turn. Let's go straight to just breathing. And then the other way. Hopefully the ease of getting there and the ease of the breath is improving. Okay, one step further forward. Now I'm going to go cross-legged here. If you'd like to have your legs out in front, absolutely feel free to do so. Otherwise, we're going to try and stretch into the hips and into the side body too. So if you're doing cross-legged, I'm going to mirror you now. So bring your right leg in front of your left leg. And if it's comfortable, you could even tuck the toes in behind your knee there, or even on the top if it goes that far. Doesn't matter how far your foot goes. If you feel a stretch in your hips, you're there. Okay, right arm, get taller. Now this is not so much about your shoulder. We want armpit to hip. We need this shoulder to open. So you can even bring your cheekbone and your upper arm. But if your shoulder doesn't like that, you could do it with your arm anywhere else. You could go here perhaps, as long as you're getting that length. So it's up to you as to what you do with your shoulder. The goal is armpit to hip. Put your other hand down to help you reach high, and then exhale over to the side. Start with the breath, inhale. Feel the breath bring you back up. Inhale, get taller. We'll go a little bit slower the first few, so you really get that armpit to hip stretch. Cheekbone, upper arm touching if it's possible, and stretch it over to the side. Inhale, getting taller. Use the breath now. And then hand support, so the exhale will soften you to the side. Then start with the inhale. It'll get to a point where it feels more natural to start coming up. Exhale to the second side. Inhale. So you can start going your own pace. It might feel good for you to stay here for a breath, to really reach taller. Explore where you feel that stretch and breathe into it, and then come back up. And what I invite you to really do here is it's really easy to kind of and push into it, but can you get that length and then direct your focus and your breath into where it feels tight and see if you can breathe into it. And then inhale and use the breath to come up. Let's see if that has changed before then. So you might need to adjust your legs to how it was before. But let's try forward then. And let's try our twist. Hopefully that little sequence has started to loosen things up. So now let's move a little bit more into a sun salute face sequence. So I invite you to come onto your hands and knees. Now a couple of tricks if your wrists don't like this. You could do knuckles. You could also come more into your fingers, grip more with your fingers. The other thing you can do is make sure your hands are forward from your shoulders so it doesn't force into too much hyperextension. The other thing is sitting back more so that you're pretty much kneeling down, you're using your knees and your hips and hardly any weight. So I could do this with my hands here. So as much as you can, try those variations if you need. All right, so back to all fours. We're going to practice those shoulder blade slides. So sinking down and then lifting back up again. So it's fine. You probably can't see with this top on so much because it's a bit saggy. So if I pull it a bit tighter. So you're going to switch on your zipper, tailbone to pubic bone up to the belly, and then keep that engaged as you try the scapular slide. So it's not cow and cat, it's not arching and flexing, it's neutral spine, zipper engaged, and can you still use your shoulders? If that's tricky, it possibly means that when you switch on your core, maybe you're using your lats and you're using too much activity through your shoulders. So this can be really helpful. So engage your core and slide the shoulders toward the floor, slide the chest toward the floor, and then lift again. So let's go slow and notice your chin. We don't want the chin poking forward. So chin in. Pretty much what we're doing is what we did on our back. We're flipping you over onto your front and training your body to do it in different positions. So chin is in, core is engaged, and then you're sinking your chest down and then lifting back up again. So core engaged, down and back up. Let's do one more there. And now I invite you to come back to child's pose. Sit back, spread the sitting bones wide. Sitting back, you could stay here or let your forehead come to the earth. And I'll get you to stay. I'm going to come up so my voice isn't so muffled. So stay in child's pose. But what I want you to feel here is, remember when we did our side bending just a moment ago, and I really got you to feel the stretch armpit to hip. I want you to be able to feel that here too. So when you're in child's pose, feel this armpit to hip stretch on both sides at the same time. Now, again, if your shoulders don't like this, bend the elbows, but still feel that side body lengthen. Try 2 more breaths. One, yoga breath. 2, bring the hands back under your shoulders and lift yourself up. Good work. All right, now we're going to try down dog. Anytime we do down dog, you could do child's pose instead. So let's try that. So from all fours, you can try a couple little scapular slides, core switched on, loosen up the shoulders, then tuck the toes, sitting back, and you can either choose to keep going down to child's pose or try and use your legs to lift you up to down dog. And I invite you to have your knees really bent. So again, you can get that length through your side body, armpit to hip length. So get longer and longer. Now, if you've got the space to straighten your legs, you could try, but I feel to do that, I'm rounding my spine. So I'm going to bend my knees and get really long through my body. Let's breathe now. Inhale. And exhale. Make sure your neck is nice and relaxed. 2. Exhale and make your way down. Now I have to apologize, a bit of a wardrobe malfunction. Didn't think about teaching in a hoodie, so I'm going to take that out of the way now. I invite you to do the same thing as scapular slides, child's pose to down dog while I redress myself. All right, here we go. So, back to all fours, engage your core. You've got your scapular slide option, and then you can sit back child's pose or tuck the toes and come to down dog. Now that you're there, you can either hold your 3 breaths there or turn the fingertips in and try down dog push-ups. So bending your elbows so your head comes down toward your fingertips and then pushing back up. 1, 2, and 3. Coming back down. So the last little sequence that we do, scapular slide, engage core, sitting back. Again, either child's pose, so you give the wrist a break, or down dog. Or if you want to make it a little bit harder this time, you're going to lift between the shoulder blades, core on, and can you lift the knees? Now try not to extend the spine too much, keep the tail slightly tucked. Now lift your, we'll do the same side, lift your left leg and try and pulse the left leg. 3, 2, 1, and down. 3, 2, 1 on the right and down. Rest if you need to, 3 more times. Sorry, my bottom down a bit higher. So keep the lower leg low, keep the upper leg high, and now back to all fours, down dog or child's pose for 3 breaths. Now this time, if you like, you can walk the feet out and give the calf muscles an alternative stretch. 2 more breaths. And 1. Okay, walking those feet forward now. Bend the knees and come into a bit of a skier's pose, so let the blood pressure settle. Okay, we're going to curl up, engage core, tail drops down, curling up. Summer seated here, great. Let's try our little warm-up sequence we've been working out. So we're going to try our squats. Knees go straight forward over the toes. We want your spine to stay the same shape. So as I bend, I'm not arching my spine and I'm not tucking my tail under. So you put a hand on your sternum and pubic bone and you slouch and you overextend. They are the 2 extremes we're trying to avoid. Zip tailbone to pubic bone to belly, so core zipper on, and try your squat, and these hands should stay the same distance apart. Let's try it. Knees go straight forward, same distance between your hands. Okay, if you want to make it a bit harder, let's try hands on the hips. And you want to avoid coming into a twist as you squat. So see what you need to do to maintain that. The next step is transferring your weight to your right, left toe tip back for balance. See if you can still squat with that knee going forward and no tilting through your hips. Where I want you to feel the work is through here, the outer leg and hip, not so much in your knee. So let's try. 3, 2. Now if you can stay, otherwise moving up and down will give you a bit of a break. If you'll make it a bit harder, bring the foot in, slide it out and back in. Just slide it along the floor and then back in. So this leg is now working really hard. Don't let the hips tilt. Don't let the knee go in. You've got 2 more. Have you still got your spine neutral? You don't want to be arching or flexing. Let's come back up. So it feels a bit different leg-wise. Let's try again. Our little squats again. And squat. So continue there if you like. Remember, spine does not flex or extend. Coming down, transfer the weight, and then you can take that foot back. And continue your squats, watching that the knee doesn't go in. Watch that your hips do not tilt. They stay level. Here we go. Now, if they do either of those things, maybe you can bring the back foot in a little bit or go back to squats and train it there. Last 2, And feel free to stay. You don't have to be down so low. You could be up higher to make it less intense. Then bring the other right foot in, and then you're going to slide out and in. Out and in. Got 3 more to do. Keep breathing. Don't twist. Don't extend or flex the spine. If I'm counting correctly, we've got 1 more, but we'll do 1 more for luck. And then come up to standing. Nice work. Take the feet wide. So pivot the toes out, then the heels out, and then go again. Look at where your toes are pointing. Your knees have to point at your toes. So roll through your hips. And this time our spine is very tall. So knees go wide. Now what I'm finding is as I squat down, my knees going past my ankle, my toes. So I might just shuffle my toes out a little bit. Try a couple more there. Good. So knees wide and back up. So rolling from the hips. Back up. And again. Now if you need to, go not as far. If you can, go down lower and stay. You could bring your hands in prayer, which makes it a little bit harder. And we'll pulse here up a little bit and then deepen down. Make sure those knees are staying wide. What's going to be happening from the side is they're going to get weaker and come in. Use your hips, stay tall, keep those knees back. So if I stay in this orientation, it keeps me really honest. Okay, you got 2 more breaths if possible. Bring the hands behind you, reach the hands down, lift the chest. And see if we can pulse 2 more times. Keep those knees back. 1 and 2. Release and come back up. Let's bring the legs back in. Good work. Okay, now into our sun salute variations. Come to the front of your mat. Now, let's try something which ties into what we're doing. So try lifting your arms up and down and see how heavy or light your arms feel. So this is essentially Tadasana, stable mountain pose. Weight 2/3 in your heels, toes relaxed. Feel how easy or how hard your arms are to lift and lower. Right, now let's focus on our shoulders. Remember when you were on the ground and I got you to think of your shoulder blades melting into the floor? We just need to reduce some of that tension between our shoulder blades and our rib cage. Can you give your shoulders a wriggle? And imagine your shoulder blades are now made of silk or styrofoam or something really light. So keep that lightness through your shoulders and try lifting your arms again. Now, for some people, that may not make a difference, but if that makes your arms feel lighter, I want you to really focus on that, especially when you do anything with your arms or when we're upright. Light shoulders. If that doesn't make a difference, your focus will be tailbone to pubic bone, that zip. Okay, got it? All right, so you can either zip or light shoulders, or both if your brain's not overloaded. Reach the arms up. Exhale and come into a squat. Elbows toward your knees, so it's a really deep squat. From here, your spine is almost parallel to the floor. Maintain that while you catch your upper shins. Keep everything the same except for your knees. Can you straighten your knees a little bit? You'll feel, or a lot, you'll feel this intense hamstring stretch. Keep your shoulders light and your core engaged. Weight 2/3 in your heels still. Stay here and breathe. Really let the sitting bones go wide. Now, if it's available, you could try to let the rest of your spine relax now. You could even hold onto your elbows and turn yourself into a little bit of a pendulum, swinging side to side. Or even put your hands on your waist and give your spine a bit more of a stretch if that feels good. All right, hands down now, walking the feet back, downward dog, and then onto all fours. So if you've done these classes with me, you know that the options for your push-ups are here on all fours, or taking the knees back, so shoulder hip and knee length, and try your push-ups there. Or you could try holding the plank. Let's try that 3 times. So 3 breaths, either holding or push-ups. 1, 2, 3. Lower to the knees, lower and touch your chest first. Chest before belly. Bhujangasana, inhale. And exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale, stay. Or reach the hands back, interlace them, stretch the chest. 3, 2, exhale, release the hand, engage the core. Either stay here or see if you can lift and keep that upward facing dog. Then drop to the knees, tuck the toes. You know, if you'd like to go to child's pose, that's available. Or come to downward facing dog. Long spine. Let's try putting this all together. So now we can walk the feet toward the hands or hands to the feet. Come back to your skiers pose. Let the blood pressure settle. Then push strongly with your legs, core involved as you reach your arms up. This is our deconstructed sun salute today. Let's try again. 3 breaths lifting the arms. So check in with your arms. Have they got heavier? If they have, it could have been some of that loading that we just did. Light shoulders, zip it on, reach the arms. And hopefully they might be a little bit lighter. Let's try again. Zip it on, light shoulders, arms. Exhale into your squat. Feel free to stay or catch your knees. Extend, so light shoulders, core on as you straighten the legs. Use your hands for as much support as you need. This is to support your core muscles. If you're feeling loose and strong today, you could go straight into your forward bend here. And then hands down, walk out. We're trying to stay up 3 breaths in each position. Come to down dog momentarily, and then to your plank option. Remember, full, half, or all fours. That's breath 1. I'll do half plank, 2. And then you can do it as a little bit of a push-up if you like. Okay, let's transition to the floor. Keep your spine the same shape. In fact, you're going to be a little bit more rounded. Core really switched on. Try and touch your chest first. Try not to overuse those back muscles. Great. Bhujangasana 3 times. Inhale and down. 1, 2. Last one, top and stay. Or if you're feeling strong, hands back, engage the core, lift. Then drop to the knees. Tuck the toes. Child's pose or down dog. Let the head hang. Chin is in slightly, just like we did at the start. Face armpits to hip. And now make your way to standing. So let's go with walking our hands toward our feet. Come to your squat first. Blood pressure can settle. Core on. And inhale to rise up. Light shoulders. See if your arms are still light from the seated. Again, light shoulders, core on. 1. Let's try and time our breath and our movement. Inhale, then arms. Exhale. Last one, core on, light shoulders. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, coming down to your squat. Stay. Or half forward bend, core on, light shoulders, chin in. Or forward bend, that's breath 2. Got 1 more breath here. Now walk the hands forward. Let's go to a hand walking forward. You could stay in down dog or child's pose and wait, or come out to whichever plank variation you're doing. 3 breaths. 1, core on, A little bit more rounded. 2, 3. Let's transition to the floor. See if you can hold right down. Uttanasana. 1, 2. Stay or lift. Exhale. Child's pose or down dog. 3 breaths. Long spine. Chin in. 3. Again, bent knees to get a long spine. 2. And if it's available, you can try and straighten. Exit breath 3. Walking the hands back. Into your squat. Inhale, rise, core on, light shoulders to rise. Namaste to heat. So that's the conclusion of today's yoga practice. It's a little bit different, but different times call for different practices. What I invite you to try and do now is come to sitting and just see how your body feels. If you hold onto your elbows and try twisting one way, taking a breath, and then twisting the other. And just observe how that feels. Sometimes it'll get easier, sometimes harder. My hope is that it feels easier now than it did at the start of today. But if it doesn't, hopefully there were little windows where it did actually feel better. And then I invite you to try those little bits of practices throughout the day. This is a really nice sequence for bringing balance to the body. And it's based on our sun salutes, which are really broken down to some of the key components, and my belief that we need to bring balance to the front and back of the body and learn how to not overuse where we compensate and we get tight, we grip with, and get better at activating our core muscles.